Well, here I am back again. I hope you all had a good 4th of July out there. Uh, Boy, did I have me some pork ribs. Baby back ribs, were they good? My wife did a fine job on them, and I did the best job I could to eat as many as I could. And you hear that? That's where I packed them away. Oh my, I'm still feeling mighty stuffed from that meal yesterday, but yeah, I give thanks to the Lord for providing a full table like that was there, and uh, the gift of a great wife who was willing to put it all together, and we sat down and enjoyed it together as well. Anyway, I thought today I wanted to try something new. What I'm going to do is I'm going to act out a little story, and you can tell me what it was all about. Now, if it resembles anybody you know, it's all by accident. You know I wouldn't do anything to tear somebody up or bring them down or anything like that. I'm just no country boy that heard a lot of stories over the years, and I thought, well, why not just repeat another one right here? But we're not going to go into names on this, if you don't mind. This is about a good old boy. Now, he lived in a couple of towns, and he kind of lived in them, not necessarily at the same time, but back and forth. And of course, this old boy was very impressed with the things that he was doing. He sat back one day and he was explaining. He said, I need lots of money and I don't have none. None? Yeah, I'm just broke. He said, the reason I need money is, well, the good Lord would like me to give it away. And I'd give it away. I have to have lots of money so I can give a lot away. And that makes me feel good, real good. And I thought, boy, why, that guy, he's really something. He gets money, it comes in, and he just gives it away. I was thinking, man, I wonder, well, what's else he going to talk about? Well, you see, this guy, now, living in two towns with all that money he's giving away, what's the big reasons and who's getting all of it? Okay. So here he is, he's talking away, and of course, he gets a sitting back. He's talking to somebody else over there and telling them all about it and how all this money is going to do good. He just has to work hard to get all that in there so he can give it away. And then he did say something about having some of it invested or put away. He said, if you have to put your money in LLCs, and I got to thinking, well, if you don't have no money and you're broke, how do you have an LLC? How does that work? I mean, I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? I'm just confused. So I got to thinking about this, and so I thought, well, I better listen up here because this guy, he's telling us all how smart he is. Well, yeah, he did. He's telling us he really is intelligent. He said, he's the one that has to figure out all them things. Yeah, I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, let me hear some of them things out there. And he said, well, he said, you wanted to know about them towns? Yeah, I would like to know about them towns. And he said, well, I live in two of them. I said, well, yeah, you told me that. I mean, I understand you got two towns there. Which one do you like best? Well, he said, to tell you the truth, I like going to both places. I said, well, really? And he's kicking back a little bit. He said, this one town, it's a lot bigger than the other town. I said, oh, my goodness. Why would you live in two big towns? Or one big one and one small one? Well, he said, this other town, he said, I've got this grand house up there. I said, oh, yeah. He said, it's worth a lot of money. Really? Oh, yeah, that's my dream house. I said, well, how come? He said, well, all those people there, they're good people. I said, really? Yeah, he said, it's 6 times bigger than that other one. I said, oh my. Well, I guess it's a pretty good sized town, isn't it? Well, no, he said, it's not real big, just big enough. So it's big enough, yeah. I said, well, what about them people up there? He said, them real good people. Them's real good people. I said, what about the people in their town? He said, well, the one that's got all them good people, he said, they got big hearts. 6 times bigger than the other town. Really? Well, why do you live in both towns? Well, you see, the one it's just a place to just kind of, well, I'll tell you the truth. Well, to tell you the truth, you see, it does have some good people down there. Oh, okay. Well, what about their hearts? Well, this other town, their hearts are a lot bigger than the ones in that other little town. Well, what are we talking? He said, well, the people in that little town, they're 6 times less. Now, you did say they had some good people down there, right? Oh, yeah. They got lots of good people. Do they know how you feel? Well, let's see. Let's talk about something else. What do you want to talk about? He said, money. I said, money? He said, yeah. He said, the more you talk about money, the more the money you make. And he said, that's what everybody wants is money. And I said, you sound like a real investor. He said, yeah. I said, well, now you were telling me you give it all away. How do you get it? He said, people give it to me. I said, oh, well, that's great. They probably feel pretty good about it. He said, oh, yeah. He said, it's a good feeling to give away money. He says, I give away everything I got. I don't have nothing. I'm thinking, well, there's a nice house somewhere else, right? A lot of property. And he doesn't have nothing, but he's got this big house. He lives in a town, well, 2 towns. One is great. I said, well, what makes you think that other town is so good? He said, well, I have special friends. Yeah. He said, the big boy up there. I said, really, the big boy? Yeah, he holds office, high office. Oh, really? Yeah. We talk to each other on the phone. That kind of reminded me one time when my son was telling me, he said, I got a lot of friends, Pop. I said, really? He said, yeah. He said, I have a couple of thousand on my phone. And he said, they all checkmark me. I said, checkmark? He said, yeah. Every time I put something on the phone, they checkmarked that they liked it. I started laughing. I said, have you ever met any of them people? No, I haven't ever met them, but they sure like me. He said, they're always asking for money. And I got to thinking about that. So, this guy, he's going to talk about all the money he's giving away. I'm thinking, hey, man, maybe if this guy's giving away money, maybe I can get my son in there to get some of that money, right? So I'm listening close. When he starts talking about all these people that have been giving him money, he said, you know them people? Well, he said, they're all on this thing. He said, I've got a lot of people on there. And he said, they all want something out of me. And I said, well, if you have all these friends, I said, how do you have all these friends if they're always trying to get something from you? I said, what do you give them? You're looking at it. What? He said, yeah, that's me. Really? Well, no, I learned something, see? All you got to do is ask for money. And directly, I look over at this thing, and it's going up, look like a wheel on a slot machine, like this. And every once in a while, there'd be a thing pop up there that had names on it, and there was money there. Well, I guess it was money because every once in a while he'd look over there and he'd say, "Hey, thanks you," and I'm looking up there and I'm thinking, boy, I wish I'd have had something like that when I was younger. Maybe I wouldn't have had to work for a living either. Anyway, yeah, I say that a lot, don't I? Like, it's a way of getting attention sometimes. If you say a word every once in a while, it brings people back to reality. Maybe they'll listen to you a little bit. But gee whiz, if he's got this little thing that revolves, and it's always telling you money's coming in, and of course I haven't figured quite out how he gets that into this, and gives away with that. Can you do all that? Well, I guess. He claims it's all gone. It's all gone. Oh yeah. He really he has got the world around his little old finger. Yes, sir. That little old pinky. Oh my! I wish I knew his secret. You know what I would do? I'd filter a little bit of that money, and I'd filter it out so I had it stashed here and there. That way, if I didn't have cash around, I could tell them too, I don't have no money. They can have a broad meaning. Does that mean you don't have no money you can liquidize right away? Or you don't have any money to your name, or you have no holdings, none of that stuff? How do you associate that home up there is yours? Because you don't own anything, and you have no money, and nobody can come after you and sue you, right? Right. I said, well, do you ever sue anybody? Of course. Now, during the conversation there, he gets to telling about all these people that done him wrong. I said, well, how come you have anything to do with all those people? Well, along the way, you gather a lot of do-gooders around you, people who want things off from you. He said, I do the best I can for them. I'm a teacher. I want to teach people how to make money like I do. And I'm thinking, well, he just got through telling me he don't have any money. Okay, now, I guess I'm confused again. Do all these people listen to you? Oh, lots of people listen to me. Do they do anything else for you? Money. They all give me money. I make money off from that stuff. Really? Well, not really, but the money comes and goes. You got to understand how it works. I said, well, if you're teaching people how to make money, but you have no money, how does this all work? These people that you're teaching, do they not want to save some of it? Well, see, they don't. He said, you'll never believe this. They gather around me because they want to be famous. Wow. Yeah, if you ask them if they want money or fame, guess what they choose? I said, all those people don't want money? They want fame. That's why they come around to me. I show them how to be famous. I don't want to be famous. I said, why is that? Well, because when you go down the street, everybody recognizes you. I said, well, is there anything wrong with that? Did I hit a sore spot? You see, he's not real happy about that. I asked the wrong question. Never, ever, ever ask somebody about something. If you put them into a corner and they get caught in catch-22, they get upset. So I got to thinking about it, and I said, you were talking about a list earlier today. I said, what kind of a list is that? He said, well, that's people that steal from me. I said, well, what do they steal from you? He said, well, they steal me. Really? How do they do that? Well, they copy me. Well, I thought you said you were trying to teach people how to make money. Never mind that. I don't invite all these in there. These are people that want things. I said, well, Everybody would like to have a little bit. He said, yeah. I said, well, are you worried about them wanting part of your fame or your money? Well, wait a minute, you don't have any money. So the only thing they want is your fame. So if they are famous because of you, do they take fame away from you? Well, you got to look at it this way. If you want a piece of this action, you got to have my permission. You see, I am it. Oh, wait a minute. What is it? Well, I'm the one. What are you? I am a benefactor. I'm a benefactor of all those who are willing to follow me and listen to me. Everything I say is true. Really? Those other people, they lie. Really? Yeah, they lie. Well, what do they lie about? See my shirt? I said, yeah. Well, you see what it says on there? And I said, yeah. It says, I don't lie. Okay. So that means you don't lie. He just grinned. You see, now I know. Because he said so, and he wears it on his chest. Oh, my goodness sake. You are one smart man. He said, I know it. I know it. And now you know it, but you can't use it. What? No. Why? Because you don't have my permission. Well, you're doing it all the time. I'm in charge. Oh, I see. I said, well, what about, I mean, you're kind of tearing some of these people up. These people were friends and stuff, but they're not friends anymore. He said, I believe in the golden rule. I said, well, that's a good rule. He said, yes, it is. The golden rule. And I said, well, just how do you interpret the golden rule? He said, well, the man with the gold makes the rules. I got the gold, and I make the rules. Holy mackerel. That was like a slap in the face. Here I thought this guy was black. Black? Well, what is that? That's opposite of me. You see, I am what I tell you. You see, I'm not prejudiced. Oh, okay. Okay. Why would you think? Well, I'm not even going to ask you. I'm not even going to ask you. He said, well, there's a lot of people down there. And I said, down where? He said, well, everywhere. He said, they're just racist. My goodness. That wasn't even part of the conversation. What brought that on? Well, he said, listen, let's talk about something here. And I said, okay, what is it? He said, I want you to know that I am in charge. Okay, granted, I don't doubt that. I'm in your house. You're not in mine. Yes, yes. And as long as you remember that, I won't sue you. Okay, how do I keep from being on this other list? You were talking about this list out there, and it's getting pretty long. You got to have my permission. I have to like you. If I don't like you, you're on the list. So all these people that follow you, you like. I didn't say that. I said they all want something. Okay, so is there a chosen few, or how do you do this? Well, that's just none of your business. There's certain things that I keep private. You're not going to get into my private life. That's it. Okay. And he said, this interview, this story is over. All right. Now, if this looked like anybody you know, it's all by accident, because this is purely a story from my imagination. I just wanted you to see how it can be or could be or may be. A lot of bees in there, and it's kind of like a hive. I hope you enjoyed this little skit. You see, I got a lot more of them. And I don't want you to think this is a copy of anybody out there. Any resemblance whatsoever is only by accident. And everything here is subject to interpretation by the viewer. I have no intent of trying to make this sound like somebody. Nothing like that. I just want to tell you a story. And a lot of you have asked me to tell stories. And this good old boy, this farm boy, just happened to run across this story some time ago. And I thought maybe you'd be interested in hearing it. Now, just as the Lord has talked in parables, they can be compared to the times then, now, and in the future. And so the parables are done on purpose so that it is part of your life. And so are the stories that I try to tell. And maybe tomorrow or the next day I'll have another good one for you. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and let me know you enjoyed it. You can do that by either a comment, a thumbs up. Oh, by the way, subs are starting to get scarce. The only people I've seen a whole lot of out there that were going in the other direction, I don't know if they were scared of my channel, what I said, but I don't think they were scared. I think they were pissed. Quick to say, man. But anyway, if you guys enjoy a story once in a while, and if you can put it to good use, then go ahead and do it. And a shout out to all my friends out there. And thank you for everybody that came by yesterday and wished me a happy 4th of July. I want to tell you, it was wonderful. Even my pup got involved. He don't sit at the head of the table, but he sits pretty close. And every once in a while, he takes a quick peek when he thinks that he's not going to get in trouble, just to see what it's all about. He's just tall enough he can put his nose up on the edge of the table. And you won't believe it, that cat I've got looks so small when it's on the floor, but that cat can stretch out 2 feet. They're close to it. I'm not sure exactly how tall my table is, but she can put her feet up there and put her eyeballs so that she can see up there. And when she wants to get your attention, she stares at you, eyeball to eyeball. She don't say too much, but you can tell by the look in her eye, she's on the prowl looking for something to eat. She is something else. And obviously, so is that old pup of mine. His name is Sparky. And at first, I was going to call him Sparkplug. When we picked him up, he was just, I think he was 9 or 10 weeks old, but he could run. And when he ran, he was just a ball. He completely went into this fur ball. And he just had too much energy. And that's when I got to thinking, he's got to be Sparkplug. Well, my wife said Sparky would be better. And then, of course, my wife's a wise person, so we agreed. She let me agree with her, and that was nice of her. And he's answered to Sparky ever since the day we got him, believe it or not. He's been a blessing. We've been lucky enough that old cat that I've got, and I never owned a cat. Well, wait a minute, I shouldn't say that. We had a cat early on when our children were really young. But anyway, this one, I live on the last street in town here. And there's a highway out there. And the highway has a road beside it where truckers will pull over and do their books and things like that. But anyway, it's kind of a place where people pull over and throw things out of their car. And this cat, I think, got thrown out of a car. It was kind of beat up, and it was about 7, 8 weeks old maybe, if it was that old. And it was beat pretty bad, and it was skinny. You can see the bones. And it was kind of damp and rainy that day, and it was balled up by, this garage I'm in is away from the house, 30, 40 feet. I mean, paces, 30 or 40 paces. And She was trying to get warm by the overhead door. And I pulled up there, and at first she was a little scared, and she looked hungry. And my wife went in and got some chicken out of the refrigerator and brought it back out, and we fed her one of those chicken breasts that had been picked on a little bit. There was still plenty on it. And first we picked a little bit of meat off from it and gave it to her. Man, she thought that was the greatest thing in the world, and she wanted more. And so we gave it to her, and she grabbed that thing, pulled it over, and she was eating away and kind of growling at the same time. She was so hungry. But so anyway, we decided we're gonna open up the garage to her. We had facilities in there. The garage is heated and air conditioned, by the way. And we have this little, it's like a kennel, a wire kennel that we used on our travels with our pups. And so we took one and set it up just for her. We had water and food and cushions and toys and all kinds of stuff. And we put her in there, and I told my wife, I said, well, we'll keep her around for a couple of days and see if she starts to heal up a little. And then we'll run her to the vet and make sure she's healthy, and then we'll see if the vet can help us find a good home for her. Well, you know how that works out. Yeah, it happened. We would come out and play with her, and she she stole our hearts. And directly we took her to the vet, and the vet said she was a good, healthy cat, and there was nothing wrong with her. They gave her all kinds of tests, and she didn't have fleas, and her blood work all came out back okay. And so we had to take her back later on to get shots and stuff. But after about another 10 days or so, we brought her in the house so that we could introduce her to our pets, our other pets, a couple pups. And she fit right in, never missed a lick. And she's been with us ever since. So it's been a few years to get back. She's part of our family. Can't imagine her not being. Seems like she's been there forever. So anyway, that's the story about how I got the cat. So you got a couple of stories today, and it didn't cost you a nickel. I hope you didn't get too bored. Come on back either tomorrow or the next day, and I'll try to have another one. Like I say, the latter story about my pets, they're true. The other story, well, that could be to anybody or anything, any place, anytime. Has nothing to do, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I just picked this story, just put it out there for entertainment purposes only. But if you find somebody that it can give you a chuckle because it resembles or something, well, more power to you. It shows you how inventive you can be as well. If I can think of another story to pull up, I'll give it a try. This, when you live to my age, I mean, a couple of weeks now, it won't be long, I turn into an 80-year-old. I don't know what that's going to do to me. When I look at TV and I see a couple of people getting close to 80, one of them I'm looking at's over 80, and they're running for high office, and I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't know if the high office has made them the way they are or not, but it scares me enough I wouldn't ever run for it. You couldn't give me that office. That's a scary situation, isn't it? But and we'll see what happens. Whoever gets in there, I hope they help our economy out, make it easier to live, make it so we can have a few bucks in our pocket, and a roof that don't leak, and a table full of food, plenty of pets to keep our heart thumping. Yeah, I guess what I'm really asking for is the Lord to come back on earth and just help us all. With that, I'll tell you what, goodbye and come on back. I'll try to get something on here again. Smile a little bit. Have a good day.